Hare Krishna. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Usually we need to purify all our senses. Eyes need to be purified by taking darshan of the lotus feet of Lord. Ears by hearing. Tongue by tasting prasadam. Smell by smelling the flowers. So darshan, one of the important aspect of sadhana is taking darshan of the deities. Otherwise we want to see something else. So that is why we need to have beautiful darshan of deities, their lotus feet. And naturally, if a devotee he grows more and more in his consciousness, naturally there will be attraction to the feet. First, there will be natural attraction because he feels that dasya bhav, that the mood of a servant develops within himself. I am a servant. So as soon as he goes, he will be attracted to the lotus feet only. We want to see the feet because he is my master. So there is a natural feeling I am going to meet my master, and then automatically, like when we go to our spiritual master, when we feel I am servant, immediately we want to look at his lotus feet. This how comes very natural. If somebody is growing in their Krishna consciousness, dasya bhav, dasya abhiman, this is natural. And that is the reason, if you see many all the great personalities, all the great they glorify the lotus feet. It's a natural. Like if you want to blessings for your mother, if that is our culture, we immediately want to touch the feet. We are meditating on the feet. Like Madhuka Walvar, he was just meditating, worshipping the lotus feet, lotus, the chappal of Ramanujacharya, even not even deities. He said, yeah, this is good for me. I am just servant of my guru. Bharat was also worshipping the chappal of Lord Ram. They said, I'm just, even I'm more insignificant. This actually is a natural. And so for them to meditate on lotus feet, it's a great bliss. So he is my master, I am his servant. So lotus feet looks very attractive in that way. And that is how. And after Nama Rupa Guna Leela Visena, first we understand that they realize holy name, non different from Krishna. The person is so much ecstasy chanting the holy name, continuously want to chant. And then the first, what is visible in the heart is the lotus feet of Lord are visible. And slowly, upper part, and then the face is visible. And the first canto, second canto, they are the lotus feet of Lord, like that. So it's a natural that person want to see. So and eyes also get purified. Yes, Kalpana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Are you able to hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, miss.
Prabhuji, thank you. You put this topic right now. I always have a doubt, Prabhuji, because initially what we used to do is, um, of, what we have been taught right from beginning in the childhood, we touch the feet of our seniors or our parent to get the blessings. But as soon as I entered ISKCON, my Siksha Guru or my senior devotees, they said you should never touch the feet of the sannyasis or whoever or the senior exalted Vaishnavas because our karmic reactions will go to them. That's what usually, because I heard in one of the lecture also. So from that time, I never used to touch the feet. I just touch the floor where they walk and I just leave that place. So what is the right, this thing, Prabhuji? We should not touch them because when I see locally, people tend to touch the feet also. But I do not touch the feet of the senior Vaishnavas because keeping in the mind that our reaction should not fall on them and they should not suffer for that. What is the right way, Prabhuji?
Reaction don't go like that, Mataji. Basically, there are different ways a person gets reaction. One is for the person who is accepting and from the person who is paying respects. I will tell my perspective in different cases. Like uh, there is a something called Purohit for a family he is willing to take the karma of the whole family. He takes the responsibility. So they are separate category of people who takes karma. They are called Purohits. They do special pujas, they do special worships, and they take this all Navagraha pujas and all, so that they want to reduce the karma of their family, whoever is depending on them. Like there will be some Purohits for certain families, some king family, some mercantile family and all. So they are the people who takes the karma. They take, okay, you give Shanidan to me, you give this dan to me. And what they do, in turn, they go and chant more. They do so much austerities so that they can reduce the karma of the dependents. And
Okay.
now when it comes to spiritual master and spiritual circles, it is not karma because it is Krishna who is dealing with karma. Uh,
Okay.
pure devotees, they don't get karma. But
Mm.
we have to, what happens is everybody comes and touch. It's one is distraction. another
Okay.
is another is like it is not good for the person also who is it. One is distraction, and so much of pujala pratishtha also not safe for a Vaishnava who is accepting it. So that's why they say no, no. You just because outside people they allow it, but devotees they say no, because it is one is purity, because everybody comes and touch. They don't know what state they are, so
Acha.
we don't
So it
advise them.
spoils their consciousness, Prabhuji.
To protect the
Okay.
consciousness, they say, no, no, don't touch the feet. Because
Okay.
they feel I am very, even if somebody comes and touches your feet, how you feel? You say, no, 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 I am not
That's
so big.
true.
Why are
That's
you doing it? So when they are telling, it is out of their humility they are telling. It is
true.
they are telling no, no, don't touch my feet out of humility. But Prabhupada used to make devotees do Abhishek for his lotus feet, Panchamrit. Wherever he
Mm.
used to go, any temple, they used to stay. Prabhupada only taught them you should worship a guru. Guru Puja, who told how to do Guru Puja? Prabhupada only taught, na, they are directly worshipping and offer flower at the lotus feet. Every day, Prabhupada said we should have Guru Puja. This is and Mangalarti also. So worshipping Vaishnava is actually our method. Morning we do
Mm.
Mangalarti, we do Guru Puja. We are worshipping every day our Guru because that is the only way. And even senior Vaishnavas also, out of the humility, they say don't touch. So we can just touch from distance because
Yeah.
we have that mood of I am servant of this personality. Our consciousness will grow. We will be elevated. When you see
Okay.
a Vaishnava, you are offering obeisances. You need not
Yes.
touch. Just offer obeisances, feeling that I am servant of this personality. Immediately you are elevated
Okay.
because you are the state of consciousness for you is very good consciousness. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not even allowing Mataji to come near. From far only they are offering obeisances. They made
Mm.
advancement because they had that mood. We are servant of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Radas. So that is what is needed. So it's not just touching is need. Whenever you get opportunity, some Maharajas you invite to home, and then you can do Abhishek to his lotus feet and you can touch. They will not mind that time. But in public they will not allow because everybody does. It's little odd. They also feel very humbled. And if then private they will allow, but in public they will not allow. So, because it is basically their humility, and another is like they also want to protect their consciousness. And from our side, we can, when they are coming home, that's not a problem. But when they are in a very public place, it is not, they don't like it. But
Okay.
karma won't go like that, no way.
Gotcha.
Karma goes in a Purohit, is a what you call a Brahmana, ritualistic Brahmanas, na? They take karma
Mm. Okay.
because they take karma. But our spiritual master, of course, there Krishna takes karma here. Krishna takes
Mm.
karma means Krishna takes in charge of karma. He becomes the controller of our karma.
Okay.
So
What
there
a
is
truth. Thank you so much, Rose.
uh,
Much clear.
Keshav Prem.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we were discussing about the lotus feet now, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, actually, I have read in Prabhupada purport also that we should, whenever we go and worship the Lord, we should worship the feet first, then only we should go up and come to the face. But as a sadhaka, I mean, very beginning in bhakti, for me, Prabhuji, the face only attracts Prabhuji. Like I like to see the face of Lord Krishna and Radharani. In any deities, the face only attracts. And that's what gives me pleasure, Prabhuji. How to change this or how to develop this attitude of taking pleasure from the lotus feet, Prabhuji.
Not change, Mataji. You are liking the
Mm,
face, your eyes are getting
mm.
purified by taking darshan. And
Nothing wrong,
slowly
Prabhuji?
it will naturally come. You
Mm,
want to meditate, you just
mm,
want to see the lotus feet. As soon as you go, you want to see the
mm,
feet. That naturally
mm.
comes when we grow in our consciousness. That
Okay.
servant mood comes. As soon as the mood is developing more and more, you'll naturally feel attracted to the lotus feet. He said, no, no. What can I
Mm.
meditate?
Prabhuji,
What
with
can I understand?
with living person like anyone, as you said, Vaishnava who inspires us, immediately that feeling comes, Prabhuji. I used to say, if you are in front of me, I will fall at your feet. That immediately it comes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
But with Lord, especially, I love to see his beauty of his both Radharani and Krishna's face, especially Mayapur. Both of them, I love to see their face, or even for many, I mean, even in meditation, their face only comes to me, Prabhuji. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
why
that is
today
natural
I
for
want.
us. For us now it is
Mhm,
natural. And slowly,
mhm.
slowly this becomes natural to meditate on the lotus feet. We will
That
not
is.
get, we will, this naturally comes. You, because that's mentality of a servant will be developed. The hankara as a servant develops. Then naturally we will
Mm,
feel, oh, what can I meditate? I just want to see the feet. So even
mm,
they even not our cultures in other sampradayas, other cultures also they say darshan de do.
mm.
Darshan means show your lotus feet. Maharashtra they say
Oh.
darshan. Darshan de do means
Mm,
show your lotus feet and they'll all come and touch the lotus feet and go. Maharaj,
mm,
आपका दर्शन दीजिए means just allow us to touch your lotus feet. That's what they say.
mm,
So this is there in other parts also that in especially in India, people they feel
mm.
that we should always have this mood of a servant. And they and
So, should
prepare
I
it.
understand that as we progress in consciousness, we even feel unqualified, like to even enjoy the, I mean, form and phase of blood, and we are just eligible enough just to serve Him? Is it like that, Prabhuji? Like,
We
is it
more
that we are?
meditate. Not that we don't see the face of the Lord, but we want to
Mm,
meditate. We like to look at the lotus feet for at least immediately the
mm,
first vision goes towards the lotus feet only. And we
mm,
also say, no, just
mm,
meditate on Lord's lotus feet. Many times you might have heard. Because this is
mm,
where
mm,
this is coming from. This is come from the great devotees. They say, I meditate on the
mm,
lotus feet of Lord. And they keep
mm.
photo of some deities lotus feet only, some devotees. And
That
they
means
keep
we should have a, that's what I was about to ask. That means we should have a thorough study of his lotus feet, that marks, emblems, that we should have some
that
knowledge, no, Prabhuji?
naturally
Then
comes, Mata. If you like something, now you want to know more about it. How did that come to know?
oh,
Because devotees meditated, and when they meditated on lotus so much, they meditated everything. Then the
mm,
actually, I was telling lotus feet. Actually, before lotus feet, you will get the thumb of the Lord, and now they say, "Arey, thumb of
mm,
Lord is so bright, millions of
mm,
moons." So every
mm,
Notai Padakamala, Koti Chandra Sushitala. So every
mm,
part of
mm,
the lotus feet also the anklet that is on there everything is like so attractive and it is
mm.
so it comes naturally and that's the reason many songs are there many the shlokas are there on the lotus feet only because that is a meditation of all these Vaishnavas.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. So it will take time for sure. Mm,
Like we have
okay.
songs na Brahma Kadigina Padamu. So Anamacharya is praying, this lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and all the
Mm,
so many if you go they're so much meditating on the lotus because that feeling comes naturally. So it
mm,
happens only. Means now more we want to serve, more we get
mm.
this feeling. Arey, Bhagavan ka Charan Kamal. And no, the Radhashtami. What is Radhashtami special? One of the important thing is everybody says, oh,
The
today we'll get
lotus feet
darshan
is
of Radharani's lotus feet.
correct.
So many devotees are
Mm,
eager for that. So the mood is
mm.
like we are servants, so we just have to meditate on it. So it's such a blissful thing.
Okay. You're all enjoying. Maybe I am a very, very low conscious.
No, no,
Maybe I
I'm
will
enjoying
take time for
telling
it.
about it. I am not able.
You're so humble, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Kalpana Mata, you have something?
Yes, Prabhuji, regarding this context, when we were just new in ISKCON, at that time our Siksha Guru used to tell this, how do we worship a Lord? How do, in a temple worship, he used to just teach all the basics at that time. I never practically noticed that when you go to a temple, because in South we see such a big deities we have. So he was telling my spiritual master, they were telling how they take the the lamp, ghee lamp, how they take it from the feet and how they show the darshan, because our, the Moola Vigraha is always under the darkness and the light lamp shows the features of the Lord. This is how we have to take the darshan and how our senses are purified. What and all they offer. They offer the flower, they offer the scent. This is how you purify our senses. So gradually, it was really very eye-opening for me. I never noticed this. Even no one has taught this. Like, this is the way you should see the Lord. Directly we go and jump and see the face. And like that is our tendency. I feel still we feel so attracted. Like how Keshav Matsui was telling you, we were so immature in that way. And later on, when we a little came towards learning about the Shastras, and like at that time we were learning this topic, science of God realization. Then we learned slowly when we entered Bhagavatam and all. Then our Siksha Guru, especially in ladies, she taught us like how the lotus feet is the Bhagavatam, the first two cantos has to be thoroughly read and thoroughly studied at least so many times, because that is a lotus feet. Even for the lifetime, we should read the lotus feet and should get, hold it tightly and get attracted. Then you slowly, once your consciousness develop, you go to the lotus feet, that is the 10th canto. This has really, striken so hard to us. So, and many of our senior devotees, whenever we sit and chant together, they put the lotus feet in the screen so that we chant and we meditate on that. This is how we develop immediately when we chant, the first lotus feet only comes. Then they all train and they develop the desire, as you rightly said in a previous class, how you develop the desire. This is how they practice with the proper knowledge, with the proper mood. They develop, they develop the right way to worship. That's what I wanted to add, Prabhuji. Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very good.
Like, there is a desire to enjoy the Lord. So that's why there is sometime all the people outsiders, they have desire to enjoy. That's why they want to see the face. But a devotee has a desire to serve. That's why he sees a lotus feet. And we also taught the darshan. When you go in front of altar, first we see Prabhupada, then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, all the Guru Parampara, Shad Goswami, then Panchatattva photo and Narsingdev photo. Then we start looking at the lotus feet and then we grow. We see up and up. So this is the procedure how to take darshan. And why? Because the desire to enjoy and desire to serve. And based on that, our vision goes in that direction. So we are taught in Darshanarthi, first thing we should take darshan is the lotus feet. And then slowly, and I have a desire to serve. No? Initially, automatically it goes like that only. If you see South Indian temples, they cannot wear kurta and uttari. Previously, it has changed. They just have to. Of course, the Vaishnavas who are serving, they don't do the pujaris, the Brahmanas. They have to tie and then fold the hands and look down. So they say adiyan, and they have to put their hand also like this so that nothing falls, and they are speaking. So this is Das Abhiman. So they just say Adiyan, I am servant. So Adiyan Ramanuja Dasan. So they say I am servant of my spiritual master, I am assistant. So this is the natural way. And this some nice purports are there of Prabhupada. We'll just try to take them. Prabhupada has some nice things to share in different contexts, but this purport is nice. So we'll just read this. तदस्य कौशारवसर्मधातुर्हरेर्कथामेव कथासु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय नः कीर्तयतीर्थकीर्ते. This is very famous shloka. Maitreya, a friend of the distress, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. Oh, this is just purifying. Even we are discussing here, the city where you are staying is also purified because you are discussing Krishna Katha in that city. That much powerful the holy name is, the glories of Lord. Your house is purified, your whole society is purified. because in your house Krishna Katha is going on. It is not joke. It's really seriously. It's now see, it is purifying the whole universe. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, "Na pran he say pran he say he tu." He used to say, "One who has life, he will preach." Then his disciples asked, "Arey, but you are spiritual master Gorkishada, so he is just sitting and chanting. He is not preaching." Then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, "Arey, just by his chanting, he is keeping away Kali from the whole universe, whole world. That much powerful his chanting is. So his preaching is different." The point is what? Why he is able to purify? Because he is chanting that much pure holy name, he is able to keep the effect of Kali reduced in Kali Yuga. And that's what we see that the sages of Naimisharanya, they are doing yajna that time for what? Purifying, for helping Kali Yuga people now. That means it is so purifying that the effects of Kali will reduce by the chanting and kirtan. So Kali is quite upset with devotees in that time. Prabhupada read, this is nice. There are many topics for different persons in different modes of material nature, but the essential topics are those in relation with the Supreme Lord. This is the important point. There are different topics for different persons in modes of nature. It's all based on the taste. Which mode we are, which taste will get attracted. So this is very much dependent on the taste of what we are. And we cannot, that's why we say it is not right or wrong question. Some people who are in ignorance, for them that is right only. There is no point in arguing. They will say this is the way to live. They have developed that taste, they have developed that faith. They also have faith, but their faith is in enjoyment in ignorance. So we should not unnecessarily argue. We try to help them, but we should also know that it is not so easy because they already are stuck up there. They're conditioned. Unfortunately, materially affected conditioned souls are all more or less averse to the topic of Supreme Lord because some of them do not believe in the existence of God, and some of them believe only in the impersonal feature of Lord. Why? This is how the programming is there in their setup. It is not possible only. The impersonist, they will only accept that much. It is not possible. The system is already programmed. Only by Sukruti and by mercy of a pure devotee, the systems may change. To based on the power, how much Krishna is empowering the devotee. Otherwise, in this world, people are happy in what they are doing, and they approach the absolute truth like that because they are approaching the absolute truth in an empirical way. They will only understand its impersonal Brahman. They cannot approach in a devotional way because that heart does not move for them. To approach as a devotee, there should be some movement in the heart. Means we should feel. But for them, it's look too sentimental for them. What you are feeling? These feelings are material, they will say. But we say no, because it is connected to Lord, it becomes spiritual. They don't accept this. They don't accept this panda. They say everything logical, no emotions. So that is the problem with them. They cannot understand and appreciate. For us, now we get little mood. Arey, Krishna is so compassionate. Krishna is so nice. Krishna is this. Krishna is that. For them, they say, Arey, anything emotional means mental. It is on the level of manas only. They say buddhi. That is where we should work. That's why they don't understand. In both cases, there is nothing for them to say to God. That is the point. Both the non-believers deny the essence of all topics. Therefore, they engage in topics of relativity in various ways, either in sense gratification or in mental speculations. Why Upanishads are there then? That is a proof. Because their mind works so complicated, they want something very complicated. Upanishad language is very complicated. We can directly tell, now here Bhagavatam tells so direct, so direct. But if you go to Upanishads, it's so indirect. Tad jedati, tannedati, tadvanti, tadantarasya sarvasya. So all these languages, they're all Upanishadic language. So tough. Why? Because people are like that. They need tough language. If you tell simply Krishna is Supreme Lord, worshipping, they say no, maja nahi hai. So why? That is their taste. That is that is how they are found. That is their swabhava. So everything is set like that. So we should not in one way. Vyasdev also understand, and Lord also knows that living entities are like this, and that range of their thinking and other things. For the pure devotees like Vidra, the topics of both the mundaners and the mental subtleties are useless in all respects. Thus, Vidra requested Maitreya to talk only of essence, Krishna and nothing else. Savish Janmastiti Samyamate Kritavatara Pragita Shakti Chakara Karmanya Ati Purushani Yanishvara Kirtayatani Mahyam. Kindly chant all the superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potencies for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creations. Now, array, these topics we already know. How many of you know Damodar? Everybody knows. Every year we hear. And interestingly, every year, not only one day, whole month is Damodar month. That means devotees take classes on it for whole month also. So many times we hear, but so many insights are there, so many commentaries are there, so many ways people describe it. How is it possible? Because that is Leela is now also happening, and most important thing is devotees are happy hearing it. Why? Because it is an eternal Leela. Now also the Leela is happening because it is happening present in the present. That's why that gives that bliss. So all the Leelas of the Lord. Now say if I discuss about Krishna's birth, because Krishna is taking birth now also, it is the fresh that is happening. So it's a latest news. It's a what is a breaking news. This is breaking news. Krishna appeared. Hari Bol. So because it is why people when they hear this breaking news, so many people like to hear latest breaking news because that is fresh. That creates some sort of a nice experience. Same thing with Krishna. It's of course spiritual experience, but it is always latest, always the fresh. It's not old. That's why devotees are eager to hear about them again and again, and they'll not get bored also. Vidra was undoubtedly very eager to hear about Lord Krishna in particular, but he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna just passed away from the visible world. He therefore wanted to hear about him in his Purusha incarnation, which he manifests with full potencies from the creation and maintenance of the cosmic world. The activities of the Purusha incarnations are but an extension of the activities of the Lord. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya because Maitreya could not decide which part of the activity of Lord Krishna should be chanted. So, this is also a pastime of Lord, the creation pastime. So, before knowing Ras Leela, we should know Srishti Leela. We should know the creation pastime, which is much more important in the initial stages because that is the sadhana to make ourselves qualified to hear the past tense of the Lord. So Purusha Srishti Leela is very important to why we should need before knowing the love of Lord, we should know the greatness of Lord. Before knowing his prema, we should know his Aishwarya also, which is very helpful for us to grow properly. Otherwise, people directly know about Madhuri and all. What happens? They try to they try to make it very cheap. And that's actually what happens with Sahajiyas. They don't work endeavor in knowing the Aishwarya of the Lord. They are directly discussing about Madhurya. Because they don't discuss on Aishwarya, they take things very cheaply. They say, oh, Krishna, I talk with Krishna every day. So this is Sahajiya mentality. Arey, what you talk? First you talk to Paramatma in your heart. He's already telling you are bogus fellow. So Paramatma is speaking. You are not able to hear what Paramatma is speaking. How can you hear what Krishna is speaking? That is the point. First is who is already inside. He's every day telling, Arey, useless fellow. be a good person, at least become proper devotee. So the first we should hear whom? The Paramatma. And now Paramatma, how? Because now Paramatma also we are not able to hear. So he comes as a spiritual master. So first we should get trained to hear spiritual master. So when we are nicely following the instructions of spiritual master, slowly we can hear what Paramatma is speaking, and maybe then Krishna we can directly hear. So when people say I'm hearing Krishna talking, Krishna in dream and all these things. So recently one Mataji in our Hindi class, she told, Prabhuji, I got Krishna Balram, they were jumping and they were running and I saw both of them. I said, Mataji, first you chant 64 rounds every day. How many rounds you chant? She tells 16. I said, no, Mataji, you should chant 64 first. Because your age is 64 now, you don't have anything to do now. Just chant 64 every day. And when you get tears while chanting and you don't want to do anything, you forget about eating, sleeping, and whole day you want to chant, then you will get the form of Lord, not the Leela. After that, you will understand the qualities of Lord. After that, at the level of Bhava and Prema, you can see Leela Smaran. Then Krishna will run, jump, and everything will happen. But before that, it does not happen. It's all in a very emotional state. So first realization we should start with, even when we say this impersonalist or anybody who is Brahmavadis, they are reading Vedas and all Upanishads. We also read, but our way of reading is little different. We have some feelings also. And initially there are material emotions, but slowly they turn into spiritual emotions. So, like say, some people they are quite emotional people. When they come to bhakti, also same emotion they show. And some people are very rational. They feel insecure. Arey, this Mataji, they stand in front of Krishna Balram, they are crying. For me, I don't cry for anything. They must be very exalted devotees. It need not be. They are quite emotional people, so they feel like that, and it is conducive. You cannot say that is wrong. It is helpful for them, and that's an advantage for them, for them to progress. But it is not. It's not at the level of prema. That also we should. Some may will be prema, but not everyone. We should not get. Um, we should not take it so cheaply. Prema is not something very cheap. It's really very exalted state, and some people are there genuinely they have that feelings, but not all everybody. Like new people, some people, what happens is, if we are very pure, they reach the stage of bhava very fast. Abhas. This happens for many people, like say, uh, some devotee, like one Russian Mataji, she last year she came for Kartik. She just, when Kirtan, she was coming for the first time, Vrindavan, and just came to Krishna consciousness only, I think 1 month back before Kartik. And as soon as she was sitting in Kirtans, she was continuously crying because she was experiencing very great ecstasy, and that is true also. Many people they get it because they were waiting for it, and as soon as they heard, they were just crying and said, why we wasted our life like this, such a nice thing is here. And they are very fortunate in that way. They get attracted to the holy name and chant. So they are genuinely also, some people are, they get experiences, I'm not denying. But we should not think it is something very cheap. It's really required so much sadhana. Some people are fortunate like that. So the point is, first we should know what? First we should know Aishwarya of the Lord before knowing the Madhurya. And that's what Vidra is telling here. So kindly chant the superhuman activities and the personality of Godhead, who accepts incarnations fully equipped with potencies full of for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation. See, we wanted to hear about the cosmic creation. So that is the important point, right? So we should first know that's why first two, all the cantos are there before 10th canto. All other 9 cantos are there to make us understand whom you are dealing with. When you are talking about, Ras Leela, then even Satyavat Muni is telling, na, Damodarashtakam, Namami Ishwaram Sachidananda. So he's telling, whom am I talking is Ishwara, is Sachidananda Rupam, is not something ordinary. So I'm talking about Ishvara, he's the supreme controller. So he has that understanding clearly, like that. Sisuka Vacha, Sayeva Bhagavan Prishtaha, Kshattara Kausharava Munai, Pumsam Nishreyas Yasritena, Tam Aha Bahumanayan. Sisudev Swami said, the great sage Maitreya Muni, after honoring Vidura very greatly, began to speak at Vidura's request for the greatest welfare of all people. This is it is now we say a discussion is going on between some people. Why we should how is it benefiting us? Because big people meet, the topics of discussion are also very important. That's why such meetings are very glorious meetings, because the discussion that happened is very glorious, and we should value and appreciate it. And because of their discussions, we are getting benefited. And how did they? These are revealed to Vyasa Maharshi, not that. And sometimes what happens, there will be other disciples there who are listening to the conversation that is happening between Maitra and Vidra. So they what do you say? They keep a track of it, record, and that goes in the parampara. So like that, the parampara also happens. So the great sage Maitra is described here as Bhagavan because he surpassed all ordinary human beings in learning and experience. Thus, his selection of the greatest welfare service for the world is considered authoritative. The all-inclusive welfare service for the entire human society is devotional service to the Lord, and as represented by Vidura, the sage described the same very appropriately. So Maitreya says, Sadhu prishtam tvaya sadhu lokan sadvi anugrahanta kirtim vitanvata loke atmano ado kshajatmanaha. Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glories unto you. You have inquired from me about the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. So he says, this is nice. It means immediately everywhere you see this glorification. Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhirloka mangalam yat krita krishna samprishno yenatma. Sutta Goswami is glorifying Savanaka Drishis. And Sukadeva Goswami is also glorifying Parikshit Maharaj for asking such questions. And here also, Maitreya is glorifying Vidura for such questions. Maitreya, who was experienced in the science of transcendence, could understand that Vidura's mind was fully absorbed in the transcendence. Adokshaja means that which transcend the limits of sense perceptions or sense experience. The Lord is transcendental to our sense experience, but he reveals himself to the sincere devotee. Because Vidura was always absorbed in thoughts of Lord, Maitreya could estimate Vidura's transcendental value. He appreciated the valuable inquiries of Vidura and thus thanked him with great honor. What happens is the consciousness is contagious. Oh, Vidura is such a great personality. Just by his presence only, people start feeling devotion in their heart. Unless they are very demoniac like Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, who stayed with Vidura, but nothing changed in their heart. That is some unfortunate situation. Even though people stay with great personalities like Prabhupada's family, none of them became devotees only. They stayed such a great acharya, not some ordinary family members. They are staying with an acharya who is going to deliver the whole world. But his family, they could not take only. The closest person is wife. She could not appreciate only. So it is some hope for family members. That means not hope, it's like a solace to devotees, wife and husbands, if their partners are not devotees. You can think of what Prabhupada must have gone through. How much uncooperation Prabhupada got from their family members. And Prabhupada just left and he just said, okay, whole my family, finish. Of course, so not so easy, but at least we should know The presence has an effect. So Vidra was always absorbed thought of Lord. So that's why. Naitachitram tvai भाद्रायण वीर्यजे गृहीतो अन्नय भावेन यत्तया हरेरीश्वरः. Oh Vidura, it is not at all wonderful that you have so accepted the Lord without deviation of thought, for you are born from the semen of Vyasadeva. Now, Dhritarashtra is also born, but it didn't work for him. That is the problem. The value of great parentage and noble birth is evaluated here in connection with the birth of Vidra. The culture of human beings begins with the father invests his semen in the womb of the mother. According to his states of birth, a living entity is placed in a particular father's semen, and because Vidra was not an ordinary living entity, he was given the chance to be born from the semen of Vyasa. The birth of a human being is a great science, and therefore, reformation of acts of impregnation according to Vedic rituals called Garbhadana Samskar is very important for generating good population. The problem is not to check the growth of the population, but to generate good population on the level of Vidura. Vyasa and Maitreya, Vidura, Vyasa and Maitreya. There is no need to check the growth of the population. If the children are born as human beings with all perceptions regarding their birth, prescriptions according to their birth, so-called birth control is not only vicious but also useless. So it's actually a big topic. I'll not take so much on it, but I'll just tell 2-3 points. What Prabhupada is telling, it's actually the consciousness that matters. The culture of human beings begins with the father invests. So according to his work, a living entity is placed in particular father's name. See, this is very important. What karma I did in last life decides who will be my father. So sometimes they get good fathers, but this fellow cannot take advantage. So here the Dhritarashtra is also like that. Very and some cases there will be good children to bad fathers also, like Prahalad. Some exceptions, but in general, this is the system. What type of the quality of father at the time of his conception and mother consciousness will actually generate the soul. Most of the time, it's like sometimes the whole family, they're very intelligent people. Sometimes the son may not be intelligent like the father. Father is a Nobel laureate, but son need not be a Nobel laureate. He can be some simple person also. So it is very much possible like that. In some cases, it's like that. The father is a doctor, son also becomes a doctor. So it depends. But important is here, Prabhupada said that therefore the reformation of act of impregnation according to Vedic culture, Garbhadan Sanskar is very important for gender. It's not the increase in population, it is the quality of population. If the population is good quality, even if it is more, also not a problem. So I will not take that more elaborately. We have discussed also. We'll take some other time when it comes. But we'll go to some other important other purpose because this chapter is quite big. It's 55 shlokas. Mandavya Shapad Bhagavan Praja Samyamano Yamaha Bhratu Kshatre Vijay Shyamyam Jata Satyavati Sutta. Now, some things are revealed to great personalities, some things are not revealed. Like if Duryodhana knows that Vidra is Yamaraj, he will be quite careful, right? He will say, my God, why to deal with this? He's going to become Yamaraj and he's punishing. But not everybody knows also. So, but some great personalities, it is revealed to them. I know that you are now Vidra due to the cursing of Mandiv Muni. And that formerly your king Yamara is the great control of living entities. After their birth, you are begotten by Satyavati's son Vyasdev in the kept wife of his brother. This is the history of Vidra, and Prabhupada's writing the same thing. So, in spite of Vidra's birth from the womb of a kept wife, because he had otherwise high parentage and great connection, he inherited the highest talent of becoming a great devotee of Lord. Prabhupada, to take birth in such a family is understood to be an advantage for attaining devotional life. Vidura was given this chance due to his previous greatness, because he is Yamaraj only. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Samattasanu Gaushyayaha Yasya Jnanopdeshaya Madishva Bhagavan Brajan. Your good self is one of the eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For whose sake the Lord, while going back to his abode, left instructions with me. So Maitreya understood that Lord instructed Maitreya so that he can instruct Vidura, and he instructed Uddhava, so that he can instruct the sages in Naranara Rishi, Badrikash. So that is the purpose. So here Maitreya understood the purpose now. Oh, because Vidra is going to come to me here, that's why Supreme Lord allowed me to hear. Now, does Vidra don't know all these things? Yes, some of the things are very, you want to hear in a more deeper way. That's why he's asking these questions. Amara is the great control of life and after death, decides the living entity's destinies in next life. He is surely among the most confidential representatives of the Lord. Such confidential posts are offered to great devotees of the Lord who are as good as his eternal associates in spiritual sky. And because Vidura happened to be amongst them, the Lord, while returning to Vaikunta, left instructions for Vidura with Maitreya. Generally, the eternal associates of Lord in the spiritual sky do not come to the material world. Sometimes they come, however, by the order of Lord, not to hold any administrative post, but to associate with the Lord in person or to propagate the message of God in human society. Such empowered representatives are called Shaktavesh avatars or incarnations, invested with transcendental powers. One last one. Atate Bhagavad Leela Yoga Mayorubham Hita Vishwasti Ubhavata Adbhavantara Varnayam Anupur Vashaha. He says, I shall therefore describe to you the pastimes by which the personality of God extends his transcendental potency for creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic world as they occur one after another. The omnipotent Lord, by his different energies, can perform anything and everything like he likes. The creation of the cosmic world is done by his Yogamaya energy. Okay, next one is big. Any questions, comments? We'll end here. Thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki